I go in front of the White House too a lot though. Like never talk
Why?
about.
Is there ice cream out there or something?
No, it's L'Enfant Plaza, and so I would go there with my mom, and we would have McDonald's, and I would eat the McDonald's, and I would give the squirrels there my
Yo, Shark,
fries.
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I would give them my fries, and it was super cute because they would take the fries right out my hand.
You're not supposed to feed animals like
Shut
that.
the fuck up! I don't care. It was cute as fuck.
It was not cute. It was disgusting.
It was very
You're
cute.
really
It would
that
come up
rodent was
here.
gonna bite you, and you're gonna get rabies and lose your hand.
I'm fine with that. That bitch was cute.
Damn, what's wrong with these girls
Yeah.
on here?
Well, I don't know what's wrong with these sharks out here not liking beans. What's wrong with you?
I don't like beans.
You fucking see a Mexican jumping bean and you just fucking like,
Now I smack it.
eh?
Get away from me. Anyways,
Beans are
Bud,
not.
what do you need?
Oh no, it was just the fucking metros, right? Like that's something that I
So
really, really
yeah,
want
so I
to
was
do.
just listening to you and the Antifa dude talking. And I just kind of like wanted to like, get your idea on a couple things.
Okay.
So when it comes to like leftists on Twitter, I mean Twitch, it's like it's pretty much all leftist.
Not really. But what
So
do you
when
mean
it
when you
comes,
say wait? What do you
so
mean
I
when you say
mean
leftist?
the people that at least I've tuned it.
Are these like socialists or are they just like lefties? Or are they just like left wing people?
Um, it's like a mix. Like people that identify as leftist, or I've talked to people that identify as socialist or democratic socialist.
Okay. So what about them? Because
But anyway, so I guess like what I was gonna ask you though is like, cause clearly that dude and you kind of have like a lot of things in common.
yeah.
So I guess my question is, when it comes to like some of the things you guys talk about, like the $15 minimum wage, and you guys are talking like federal government coming in and helping and printing more money, and like getting rid of college debt.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
Do you not see that there could be a potential downside? Because like you guys kind of like talked about it like in too much of a positive way.
I think I
And
laid
I was
out
just
the
wondering,
negatives
like, do
of
you see any downside doing that?
I think I laid out the negatives of eliminating student debt pretty well. Do you need me to more? No.
Yeah, I was kind of like dealing with like trying to get Discord to work, so I actually kind of missed some of your debate arguments.
Okay. Well, I mean, people who go to college generally make more money. And one thing that's really that really keeps those people like one thing is the wealth disparity, right? Between people who go to college and don't go to college. Those people who usually go to college have more money, generally, even though they pay more in their loans, and not everybody makes the same sort of return that I think a lot of people believe they do. But with that being said, I think
Yeah.
just eliminating student debt, period, would help, and that's it, would help exacerbate that wealth inequality there, because the people who did go through college already, and even if they and when they are in their career and not held down by student loan debt, I think that increases the wealth disparity between people by artificially getting rid of their debt and not the debt of poor people that they have, which is not beneficial, not Gucci, un-Gucci, I may say. But with that being said, I just think that we should eliminate student college tuition, basically, to make it so now those people don't have to be held back by money, and then institute it with a lot of other social programs so those people have the chance to catch up.
All right. Okay, so I have two follow-ups to that. One, what would you, so when it comes to like the debate of how much money gets, expunged, it went from 10 grand to 50 grand, and then Joe Biden was like, no, that's not happening.
Well, through
So
executive order.
how much money do you think should be nationally expunged from each person that has college debt?
I don't know. I'll have to read some more economic papers on it because I got to my my position on basic. Can I just steal this? Theft tastes so good. I got to my position on increasing marginal tax rates based on that. So I'll just have to look into it. I see people floating 10,000 is good for lots of minority people. Because they tend to have less money, and that's usually the amount of debt that they're hovering at. And people who generally have less money, 10,000 seems like something that would help them immensely. And while not increasing that wealth in disparity, 50,000 was floated as well. I just haven't looked into it. What the specific number should be. But lots of people say, I can be swayed on it. But I do think some amounts of student debt should be relieved. It's just bad for the society.
Yeah, when like I'm a right-leaning libertarian, so like when it comes to like printing more money, I always saw that like when the 10,000 thing was being peddled, I was like, okay, like I mean, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, but the 50 grand, I was like that's ridiculous because if you give that to every single American, then that's just going to blow out our deficit. But 10 grand like right now like I'm also a college student.
Are you talking about giving them
So I currently have about I don't know, 12 grand.
the student loan debt?
Wait, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was asking, are you talking about? You said giving
Yeah.
it to them. So are you talking about like giving them 50K, or because I was talking about relieving their debt, like forgiving their debt, just saying debt no exists no more.
But that is giving money because that money comes from somewhere.
Um. Uh. Kinda.
Because when we talk about colloquially getting rid of student debt, that debt is still owed to the college. So expunging individual responsibility to that debt, the government still has to pay off that debt.
Okay. And
You know what I mean?
yeah. And
So I'm just saying, like, so technically that is giving each American money to pay off their debt, but the money just never touches like my hand or your hand. It just goes to the government. You know what I mean?
all right. Okay. And
So what I was gonna say was, like, currently I'm about 12 grand in debt, so I was for 10 grand. Well, I wasn't for it, but I was kind of like accepting of it because I'm like, okay, 10 grand to every college student. Like, I was thinking about that idea. But do you think even people that go school to be like a doctor should get the same relief that someone in their 20s has for going for like liberal arts?
all degrees are valuable, and every degree exists for a reason. So yeah. But no, help me, help. But wait, do you run your moral system like that? A little tangent. Do you run your moral system that way, or like I'm okay with it as long as it helps me?
Can you elaborate?
Because you were like because you came in generally against you came in generally against like relieving student debt, and then you're like, yeah, I was okay with it as long as it helped me because I have 12,000, I get 10,000. Ooh, money, right? So I was just wondering, is that how you just run your moral system? You're like, I mean, I usually don't like things, but if it's going to
Okay, so
benefit
yeah,
me,
so
I'm okay.
I definitely like misworded myself. What I meant was I'm against the government just printing money willy-nilly because like this last year and a half has been insane with the deficit.
Yeah, it's been insane
But
with
I was like, okay, if it's
poverty
going to
too.
happen, 10 grand makes more sense than 50 grand.
I mean, it could. I just want to see what economists have to say about it.
So it has nothing to do with my personal debt. I was just
Okay. Um. Like to answer. So wait, what was
yeah, I
your
was
original
just,
question again? Because that was a little tangent. I just want to understand I heard that right.
So the original question was, do you think that specific people with specific like majors should get a disparity in how much money the government prints for them. Like, I don't think I should get the same amount of relief as someone that, went to school to be a doctor. Because because it's different majors, different, needs, different tuitions. So, do you think it should be straight across the board for all Americans? Like, let's say hypothetically, 10 grand every American, boom, there you go. Or should it be, if you take in these majors, you get this much relief. If you are in this bracket, you get this, so on and so forth.
Yeah, listen, Nar, I got you. I feel you. I understand the debt meme. We haven't even touched on that yet. Should they get the same, like a doctor and someone who goes for like fucking like arts or whatever, like philosophy? I think it more than the I mean, unless we're like at a really big deficit of like doctors or something, I don't even think that we are. I mean, it's cool to be a doctor and everything, sure. I mean, how valiant, how cool. But I would like to set it by how much you have. My bad. What are your means to be able to pay more than what your degree is? I don't like it without like a real like societal need for like a certain type of person in the workforce. I don't know why we would do that.
Wait, can you repeat yourself real fast?
Without the need, like we don't have, like when we don't have to like force ourselves to incentivize a certain type of person in the workforce, like we don't have a massive shortage of doctors or massive shortage of whatever. I don't know why we should be prioritizing any sort of degree over another one when everyone who has a degree generally does better, and we want people to have degrees, period.
Yeah, I'm not saying about incentivizing like to get specific degrees. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm just saying is,
well, I mean, it's
should we
basically like
give
an
less money
incentivization,
to
right?
people that are more capable of paying off their student loans?
I mean, sure. I mean, that could also be a thing too. I wouldn't have any problem with that.
Yeah, like I guess like the point of the conversation, I'm just trying to find like a middle ground.
Okay. I mean, I just don't think we should really care that much about the deficit. Actually, deficit's good. Like debt is good. Deficit is good. That's good.
Well, I mean, to an extent, but after us spending trillions of dollars just printing it, like
I mean,
62% of
we hold
all
most of our
money
debt.
has been created in the last like year.
Yeah, I mean that's like a cool stat. It doesn't really like mean that much. Like everybody knows that. That's why we can do it. That's why China can do it. That's why India can do it.
Well, no, that just means that eventually, if we don't fix things and course correct, the economy is going to collapse.
How? What'll happen? What do you think?
Because if you look at the money stock bar graph of money that's been printed from like 1940 to now.
Yeah, we know like 40% of all dollars has been like created.
Stick, like when
like
it comes to
yeah,
like
sure,
exponential growth.
Like I know. Yeah, we all know. Like 40% of all dollars have been printed since like 2019 or something. Right? Cool. So now what? Like why? Why should I care? Explain.
But that means we shouldn't just throw away more money and just be like, hey, let's just give every single American 50 grand.
Wait,
because that's just insane.
Why? You still haven't explained to me why I should care about the
where the hell is that money coming from?
Well, we make it. We just print it. We control our own dollar.
But you can't just print money.
Well, I mean, we did. That's crazy.
Money printer go burr is not a response.
Well, I mean, kind of is in modern economies, especially the U.S. dollar. We can do basically whatever we want. We've actually blown away even economists who thought that we couldn't do it, and then we just did it, and nobody cares. It's kind of wild, isn't it? When you make your own dollar, you can just kind of like do whatever you want. But for the most part,
but we haven't gotten
obviously you can't give people like a trillion.
This. Like it's still too early to see the effects of printing all this money.
Oh, what do you think the effects are going to be? We owe money to ourselves, right? Like we owe debt the same way your left pocket owes debt to your right pocket when you move it over and then set an IOU there.
But now we are stealing money from our kids. We're stealing money from our grandkids. We are stealing money from generations past us.
How's that work? How's that work again? So what happened? What's going to happen? Like, you say these things, but you haven't explained how they happen.
When you just press a key on a computer and you just print trillions of dollars, that means it's going to cause inflation, and that's a fact. It will cause inflation.
It'll cause some.
Things are going to become more expensive. Money is going to become...
The money gets destroyed after 50 uses.
Like, I just don't understand how leftists can come to the conclusion that it's okay just to print money in infinity.
Like I don't know. I hear like righties saying that all the time, but I mean, it's hard for me to care when they provide
Our dollar is fragile.
It's really not. What are you talking about? How is it fragile? We're the second wealthiest dollar.
All right.
And wait. We are a single country. The second person even close to us in dollars is the euro, and that's several countries combined. We have the world's largest economy, and we are the richest economy. The world completely revolves around America, basically, with China on the back. We owe debt to ourselves, and we owe debt to other countries. Why in the fuck would those countries ever try to make us default on that debt when the world economy would crash? Well, you do know, like during the Great Recession, other world economies crashed. It wasn't just us. We live in an interconnected society. That's why debt is good. Like China has a vested interest in us surviving because we owe money to them. That's how that works. Europe as well, Brazil as well, and other countries as well. That's how this works. I mean, sure, printing money will cause some inflation. That's what happens when you print money. That's fine. Nowhere near the levels of like record inflation. We're all going to have to start to try and heat our homes with like Benjamins because it'll all be worth nothing. I mean, this more likely than not, this will like never like ever happen.
All right, so I agree with everything you said in the very beginning, but I'm gonna have to disagree with everything you said at the end. Like, how, like, hold on. Like, okay, yes, our dollar is expensive. Yes, our country and other countries rely on our dollar. Yes, but we've never, and you say like, hey, like, we've been in debt before and we printed money before, but never in an excess like this. This is something that's never happened before.
Well, looking
back in history going, well, this happened and it was fine, isn't relevant.
Well, I mean, it is. Well, because we can track these things, right? Even if we did it a little bit, we can say, oh, well, what would happen here? We can theorize it. Nobody, even the people who theorized that it would cause more problems, it didn't happen. We're still just kind of humming along, and nobody seems like we have any massive problems down the road. Now, I mean, it can, like I said, like we can absolutely overspend, but we're nowhere near that edge right now, as far as we know. Nowhere near that edge. I don't know where this like debt crisis is going to come from. Every country is relying on every country, and most of our debt is owed by ourselves. Like, where's this debt crisis going to come from? I don't think the fucking like health like HHS is going to come knocking on my door asking for their $2,100 or whatever sometime soon. That's not going to happen. It just seems like a fake problem to make people care about something useless while politicians run out the back door with their money and don't give them adequate care like the government should. It's in the fucking Constitution. Provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare. I mean, sometimes printing money does that, and it seems to work out quite well. And if we don't, the only thing I'm saying is if we don't print money, then we're going to have a lot more problems down the road than what we're experiencing right now. Economists are saying we need to spend massively to fix our economy right now. I don't know if you think that you're smarter than economists right now. I don't know what you got your degree in or anything, but from everything, every educated person who spent their entire life researching America and American economics, it's just completely contrary to everything that they say. Not only that, it's actually good for us to drop our dollar right now. Our dollar is kind of expensive. I've heard economists say something like that, and and maybe taking on a little bit more debt is fine. Even during the Great Recession, they wanted us to spend a $1 trillion bill. In the Great Recession 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, actually 12, and they didn't, and people haven't recovered from that, and it's having massive problems in our economy right now. We need to spend big. I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
Okay, so I agree with most of your points. Like, yes, all of that is true, and yes, some of that has happened. But again, it's less of so first let me tackle the economy thing. Yes, we need to spend a lot to make up for all the money we have lost out on in the last year and a half.
Yeah, over $1 trillion.
But that's only if all these states open the fuck back up. All these lockdowns is what caused all of this. It's not the virus that caused this, it's lockdowns that caused this. So our economy wouldn't be crippled and we wouldn't have to print over $3 trillion in less than 2 years if it wasn't for lockdowns.
Incredibly ridiculous. You know what you are, buddy? Listen, I'm going to say this incredibly nicely. You're a victim.
What's up?
You're a victim.
I'm a victim of what?
You're a victim of capitalist propaganda, is what you are. You're a victim. I'm sorry, it's true. You're being lied to.
Elaborate.
Well, those companies lost money, not just because of lockdown. Some did. Most massive companies were doing pretty fine. Actually, I know they're doing fine because their CEOs made almost more money than they ever had in a period of time in their entire existence. That's how I know they're doing fine. Workers aren't doing fine because these issues get pushed onto the workers. People aren't going to sit down restaurants. I wonder why. Wait a second. Wait, no. It's fine. It's fine. No, listen. You can listen. It's perfectly fine to say you hate corporations, but then you push for all the policy that helps them. It's fine. I understand. And I'm not even saying that you're lying. I believe you 100%. I've talked to people like you before. It happens. You're a victim. But like all these problems get pushed onto the workers.
No, I disagree because what am I pushing to help corporations?
Well, I'll explain it. So people didn't lose money. These states don't have problems losing money because of these lockdowns. Most states didn't do real lockdowns. They just did. Most states barely or didn't really do a lockdown at all. And lots of ordinances were lightly enforced, if enforced at all. People actually lots of police departments don't even really have the jurisdiction sometimes to even shut things down. I remember here, there are like laws passed down or like ordinance passed down, executive orders passed down by our governor that got overthrown by courts. I mean, this place barely locked down at all. That's actually one of the big reasons why we had a massive COVID outbreak. People aren't going out because they don't want to die. That's the reason. People aren't doing this because they don't want to get COVID. They don't want to die. So I mean, it seems pretty reasonable to me.
That's a liberty to choose where to go.
That's true, but that has nothing to do with lockdowns. It has everything to do with people not wanting to get sick during a pandemic.
Have you ever seen any of the stories from the last year of people saying, I would rather be able to feed my family than lock themselves in a room?
Yeah, I agree with them. I would like to feed but it doesn't have to. I half agree with them actually because
our economy crashed.
Sure. No, actually. It crashed because of, for one, massive layoffs from companies. That also had nothing to do with the lockdown. Most of them were humming along just fine during the lockdown. Actually, lots of them worked as hard as possible to make sure the lockdowns were as light as possible. Barely any places had real lockdowns, like real lockdowns. It was more like suggestions and some people in some stores being closed. But most of the problem from.
Did you just say nowhere?
I said almost nowhere. There are places like New York where there are like some ordinances, but if you just walked out of your house,
the entire state of New York and the entire state of California came to a fucking screeching halt. What are you talking about?
Where do you live? You can give me like a region.
I live in Pennsylvania.
I live in Pennsylvania. Okay. Have you visited New York?
Yeah, it's less than 3 hours from me.
Like during the pandemic?
I have friends that live there as well.
Okay. Like what have they said? Like they can't leave their house. Like will like a copper bonk them on the head or something with their billy club?
It's a ghost town.
It's a ghost town. Okay. So why?
Well, one, Cuomo killed 13,000 people, first off. Secondly, because every small business was shut.
Every small business was shut. I'm very much sure not every small business was shut. Also, we have
You
people
couldn't do inside dining, outside dining.
Well, yeah, and
Do
lots
you
of people
follow politics that
and lots
are
of people
like,
wouldn't
that are
want.
against your side of the aisle?
I promise you, I watch more conservative politics than you. I promise you this. I watch I watch everything from Nick Fuentes to Ben Shapiro on a daily basis. I promise you I watch more than you. I promise you I know this.
Dude, I really doubt that. I've been watching politics for 6 years. I watch cultural stuff. I follow politics left, right, and center every single day. Nah.
When was the last time you
Nah,
touched
nah.
some grass?
What?
When was the last time you touched some grass?
What do you say?
When was the last time you touched some grass?
I don't know what the fuck that means.
You put your hands on grass? Grass brushed against your skin?
Every single day.
Every day. You touch grass every day. You're not
Yeah,
just
because I
lying?
go outside every fucking day.
All right. Well, I watch politics more than you. I haven't touched grass in a while. So, I mean,
I've never been out of a job for less than a second this entire time.
Yeah, it sounds about, yeah. I watch more politics than you. Sorry, Chief. You be that way.
No, but I still watch politics at the same time.
Okay. Okay.
How many people do you watch? Dude, I've been watching your channel for like 2 weeks now, and you'll put on Crowder or fucking Shapiro for like less than a minute. You'll pause it. You'll laugh at them, not understand the context of what they're talking about. You'll hit play. That'll rinse and repeat for 3 minutes, then you'll turn it off and be like, oh, I owned them.
Oh my gosh. I mean, when I get their arguments, do I really need to play them like...
That's not watching the other side, bro.
Wait, so criticizing their works? What, do I have to just accept what they believe? Like, what do you mean by watching the other side? Would I have to like fucking go
Dude,
buy
if
like
you
a
listen
mug?
to less
Have to
than a
join
minute of someone's shit
club?
and you complain about it and turn it off, that does not classify as watching the other side.
Dude, like my air quote react videos, those things can go up to like 30 minutes to an hour long, and I talk for most of it. I mean, I don't know what your problem is, buddy. Like, you say a minute. I spend a lot of time listening to these people, their arguments. I can't listen to just a minute of Steven Crowder and be able to... Have you watched any of my videos?
Yeah, I've been watching you for like 2 weeks now.
On YouTube? I don't know. I'm just really interested how you think I only speak for
I watched one of your videos. I'm new to Twitch and just found you.
Sure, I mean, that's fine. Thanks for being a part of the frenzy, bud. For joining the frenzy and being so incredibly pog. But I mean, I talk for a pretty extended period of time on lots of these issues. I mean, when was the last time I reacted to usually I watch the entire video. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know how you can clip me saying that. I usually watch the entire video, bud. With all due respect, go ahead.
Every time I've tuned into you on Twitch, you're not watching in context the whole video.
I mean, okay. I mean, sometimes I don't have to watch literally the entire video, but during that, I respond to the comments that I hear.
But like,
you are here to argue. That's the whole point of us talking, right? Because we disagree and we're arguing.
No. I want to talk. Well, no. Arguing and disagreeing are not the same thing.
Okay. It sounds like semantics. It sounds like a debate tactic, but okay.
So, like, I want to ask. So, besides Nick Fuentes, Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, who on the opposite side of wherever you identify as do you listen to?
Sticks, Fox News every now and again, John Doyle. There's a lot of other like little no names. Charlie Kirk every now and again. Yeah, and just throw anybody else in there. I think we've done something on like Young Ripper once. Young Ripper. We did something on Young Ripper once. Yeah, I mean sometimes I'll criticize Destiny's takes. I criticize Kyle Kalinski's takes. Tucker Carlson every now and again. So yeah. Wish ad block work on Twitch. Hey, that's like $2.
Is there anyone
okay?
on the left that you disagree with?
Well, like I said, Jimmy Dore. Well, I guess he considers himself left. Kyle Kalinske, Shoe on Head. I criticize them consistently. I disagree with Destiny a lot. I've disagreed with Denims a fair amount. There are other people as well that I've spoken to. I've disagreed with Demon Mama. Personally, I've disagreed with a fair number of people.
Isn't Destiny like some like weird leftist gamer streamer dude?
This is why I asked why you're using the word leftist. He's a liberal gamer, and political commentator.
Yeah, it's weird. 'Cause it's like I'll be on Twitch on like different channels, and like some people will call him a leftist, some people just call him a liberal, some people call him a conservative.
Who's called him a leftist? May I ask?
I don't remember the channel, but I know that I was either on
Dave Rubin,
Bunny
Prager
or
YouTube,
some Amy chick or something, and someone was calling him a conservative.
Okay. I mean, listen, depending on where you're from, I guess you can call him a conservative. I don't think that's a very fair reading. From what I've, no, please. Okay. I don't think that's a very fair reading. But I mean, I understand
it. He was lefty.
I mean, he is left wing. He's probably much further left than you. So, I mean, I guess close enough if you just call everyone further enough left.
So, just lefty. To digress for a second, why did everyone try to cancel him? What was the whole controversy with him like last week?
Last week? I don't know. Destiny goes through a lot of drama. He's a big drama boy.
Well, not last week, but it was like recent.
Like the Demon Mama Riley Grace thing? Like trans people? Was that a part of the issue?
Maybe. I think so. I've been hearing people reference that shit a lot.
Destiny's had some pretty bad takes. Questioning people's gender, their gender identity, why they decide to transition is pretty cringe. People, pretty sensitive topic for lots of people. So, and they felt hurt by his words. I don't know why that means like canceling. Wait, can you disagree? Oh no! What a horrible mistake. Wait, what is canceling to you? Like, what is that? Can you give me a definition of canceling?
Like, what are you asking? Like, colloquially, when it comes to like cancel culture?
What do you mean when you say that?
Like, are you asking me like, what do I think it means to like actually cancel something, or are you asking like when it comes to like the whole like cultural term of canceling someone?
When you use that word, what do you mean? What do you have in mind? What are you thinking?
Well, there's two things. There's two different versions of cancel. There's the real cancel of like where like, oh, that show was canceled, like it was ended. But then there's the cultural cancel, which people misrepresent all the fucking time, which is canceling someone for a valid opinion or just a valid opinion that you don't agree with, and you want them deplatformed and gone. And then lefties always call it accountability, but like a lot of the times it's not. It's just because you disagree with them.
So canceling is when you is when you don't engage with someone's point. You disagree with them, but the point is valid. It's true. It's a true point, but you don't like that they said it, so you just want them deplatformed for it. That's what canceling is?
Yeah, like for instance, like the most like relevant cultural thing I could probably bring up, like example wise, is probably the whole like Gina Carano thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think Gina Carano posted cringe.
Because everyone said that she was anti-Semitic when she wasn't.
Well, I think what she posted was inherently anti-Semitic, even if she didn't mean it. And her actions afterward proved that she wasn't open to learning or
okay,
listening.
so here's the thing: people will say that Disney had the right to fire her because she said something abhorrent and that they disagreed with. Meanwhile, they have a chick running the High Republic TV show or like commentary thing that hates white people, and Pedro Pascal twice in the last year, one was 2 months ago, that said that the MAGA movement is the same thing as being a Nazi. So he can say it and not get backlash. All she said was don't demonize your neighbors, and did like a bad faith picture that might have looked bad, and she was fired through social media. That's cancel culture.
So you want to cancel
they were headhunting her, and they were trying to fire her for the longest time.
So you want to cancel Pedro Pascal?
No, because I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't think you should deplatform someone just because you don't agree with them or someone has a hot take.
Okay, so you don't believe they should be deplatformed if they have a hot take. So you don't want Pedro Pascal to be deplatformed. You just disagree with him.
No. Yeah, that's how the world should be. You shouldn't be like trying to get people thrown off YouTube or Facebook or Twitch just because they say something that isn't even like mean or hateful, but just because you disagree with them.
I think it was mean or hateful. Mean and hateful, actually. And let me explain. So, comparing. So obviously,
but she wasn't fired because she said something hateful. She was
actually fired for lots of reasons. She was actually fired for making the brand look bad. Is the real reason she was fired. I thought you were okay with businesses doing whatever they want. You're libertarian.
But Pedro Pascal can call 74 million people Nazis, and he doesn't make the brand look bad.
I mean, he could, and he could get fired for that. Would you be okay with that?
You're being hypocritical, though.
I'm not being hypocritical. I said, I haven't even laid down my point yet. I think Gina Carano was being anti-Semitic, blatantly anti-Semitic, because what she was doing, obviously, after talking multiple times about how people are trying to cancel her, how people are mean to conservatives, this and that, how conservatives are being on the back foot in the country. This is an obvious trope with her online discourse. After all of that, she came out with a post that said, "Oh, look, people. The Nazis didn't start by rounding up people. First, they were mean to them on Twitter, and then they got to the Google, and then they got to the camps. We need to fix this." Obviously, she was comparing the way conservatives were being treated.
When you're in a debate, you should at least be accurate with your actual verbatim quotes.
Well, you want me to like read out the specific thing? I got the gist of it right, which is she was like, I was being hyperbolic when I said
I can literally tell you by heart what she fucking said.
That's fucking weird. I'm sorry, that's weird. But okay, cool.
Well, it's not really hard. All she said was Nazis started off by demonizing people's neighbors.
Okay, well, I mean that's not necessarily verbatim.
That's all she said. She said, "Why is that different from hating someone for their politics?"
Okay. So she said the Nazis didn't start.
That's not controversial.
But the Nazis didn't start by rounding people up and putting them in fucking camps. So what they did was made neighbors hate each other, right? So what she's obviously drawing comparison to is like what the political strife and the way people are treating conservatives. That is in the way she did that was inherently anti-Semitic because comparing.
But she never said liberal or conservative.
It does not matter. It does not matter.
Okay, so first off, it extremely could be in bad implicit taste that she used the picture, but what she said is 100% correct.
Nothing. Wait. Are you? I see. Just because you say something that is factually correct, no, does not mean it's, and that is not a bad thing to say. The way you say it, why you say it actually.
Why would Ben Shapiro hire her if it was anti-Semitic?
Please don't make this. Please, I beg of you, don't do this. Just don't. Just pull that. Please, just retract that. Okay. Please. Please, I beg of you. Please just retract that. Please. I'm 100% serious. It's not a good take. I'm being your friend here.
Why would I retract something from your hot take? What I said is true, but like you're just trying to boil down something that she never even said into what you think it was supposed to mean.
One second.
She never said conservative. She never said liberal. All she said was demonizing your neighbor is bad.
She was she was obviously, for one.
It could be in bad taste.
She was obvious, even if it's in bad taste in that way is inherently anti-Semitic. Comparing because there's no sort of political strife that's even on the level of what was happening in Nazi Germany, well, at least on the left side. The Jewish people have always been plagued by bad Jews who undermine it from within. In America, those bad Jews largely vote Democrat. Ben Shapiro is not a good person, and Ben Shapiro is anti-Semitic as well. So if you're asking me why would an anti-Semite also work with an anti-Semite, well, I'm like, personally, I mean, makes sense. It's replaceable.
All you did was just pull something out of obscurity just to conflate.
I don't think it's really obscurity when he says it and still believes it. Do you think like pulling like you asked me, Ben Shapiro?
All right,
Ben Shapiro's Jewish.
Did you watch the interview that Gina Carano did after being fired?
Yeah, it was lame as fuck. I didn't finish the second half, but tell me, what'd you hear, buddy? I know exactly what you're going for.
So you don't think anything she said was credible, honest, or sincere?
I highly doubt it. That it was like credible, honest, and or sincere. But I mean, you know, whatever.
And why?
Why? I just don't trust her as a person, and that's okay. You could trust her as a person, and that's fine. You just disagree.
Where do you get your opinions from? Why do you come to the conclusions that you do?
When I come, because she's proven so in her own story in that video. Ooh, key. Oh, I don't have a key. I have to go back. Yeah, she proved so herself in that video where she was like.
By the way, what game is this?
This is Enter the Gungeon. It's a very good game. They were like, hey, Gina, you should talk to some diversity training people. And they're like, she was like, no, I want to get them all. I just want to get a couple of them in a room so I can hotbox COVID with them and talk to them. And then I disagreed with doing it over and over and over again, and kept causing more and more controversy in the community.
She said she didn't want to be looked at on a screen by 45 people that hated her.
Yeah, she's fucking weird. So she wanted to bring 5 people that hate her face to face with her so they can slap her silly. Like,
okay. I don't know about you, but do you want to sit on a fucking Zoom call instead of being personal and take them out to dinner?
During a pandemic, yes. Yeah. Personally, yeah. I'm home.
I don't know, man.
I'm home with parents.
Like, you say other people have hot takes, but it's like, dude, like you come to the weirdest conclusions within 5 seconds.
Not really. Her obviously for lots of time saying that conservatives are this.
I like your content.
Conservatives are on the back foot.
I like you as a person.
Like that's fine. Like what I'm saying is my conclusion isn't weird. Her constantly saying that conservatives are this and that. Conservatives are always being victimized even. And some of the things that she said. Yeah, I think
she's never said that.
Well,
She did not say that
not literally.
till
I
the
think
interview.
I think she easily implied it. But I think saying that like if I say
okay.
that,
So I'm gonna apply my own meaning, and I'm gonna cancel someone because of what I imply.
I didn't cancel anybody. I don't like her, and I don't like her content. I never watched The Mandalorian. I probably never will. I don't even have stock in Disney. But I'm fine with Disney not working with someone who seems obviously problematic for herself and the brand. Seems perfectly fine.
Okay, but how is it problematic for the brand if people have done the same thing equally, but they just don't align themselves with her?
Did people get upset about them?
Then it's instantly not your argument
Did
if it's
people
easily
get
disproven.
upset about Pedro Pascal? Like enough to cause controversy at Disney?
Yes.
Enough to cause controversy at Disney? Like a lot? Did Pedro Pascal
but Disney doesn't listen to people that they don't agree with politically.
Wait, that's fine. That's fine. But did Pedro Pascal ever have to go through diversity training?
But that's why they didn't fire Pedro.
Wait, did Pedro Pascal ever have to go
That's
through
why
diversity training?
they didn't ream Pedro. That's why they didn't have to talk to Pedro.
Because his views didn't seem that controversial, apparently.
Because they agree with Pedro.
Wow, that's crazy. So now you're telling me that businesses can't have political views? Are you okay with like the My Pillow guy bailing out?
No, they can, but you can't say that she was canceled for being bad when it was just because they canceled her for being right leaning.
Well, they didn't cancel her for being right leaning. There are other right leaning people. Wait, she wasn't canceled for right. What are you talking about? You do know she was like up for her own like spinoff, right? Like that, like before this happened, like stopping, not renewing her contract. That's a really big thing. They were planning an entire series around her. Like, I mean, I don't think they knew that she was conservative for a long time. Ever since like the trans thing.
I follow cultural shit and entertainment shit and political shit every day.
Ever since
You're not telling me anything I don't know. I'm talking about things that I'm educated on.
Cool. Sick. So it seems like she wasn't fired for being a conservative. It seems like she was fired for her takes. Causing controversy, being cringe, and then she didn't get her contract renewed. Seems fine.
Because they didn't follow the leftist orthodoxy that Disney wanted her to peddle.
Leftist orthodoxy, like not causing controversy with trans people, not causing controversy with Jewish people, not causing controversy with.
Dude, all she said was
anti-maskers.
Beep bop boot. That's all she said was because people were hounding her on Twitter for literal months, screaming and trying to cancel her because she didn't put her pronouns in her bio.
Screaming, trying to cancel her. Wait, so why are they trying to cancel her? So what did she do wrong?
Yeah, dude, for months.
Why did they try to cancel her?
Because Okay, so this is the timeline. It started with people screaming at her on Twitter for not having shit in her bio for her pronouns.
Now that I just don't believe. Wait, we can stop here because I just don't believe that's true. I just don't believe that's true.
They got pissed off about that.
I just don't believe that's true. Like some people get like some shit for not having pronouns in their bio. People usually don't start hounding me. You need to put pronouns in your bio. I've never seen this before. Usually if they ask, and I mean it's Twitter. Maybe some people were mean, but most people don't have pronouns in their bio. I don't have pronouns in my bio. I'm a leftist. I'm fine. I've been asked before, and I said, maybe. And you know what? I'm not canceled. I don't know. Maybe that'll be what I'll be canceled for. And then you'll see me starting a.
But just because it hasn't happened to us doesn't mean it didn't happen to her.
I highly doubt it happened to her. By the way that she frames a lot of her stories, it makes me feel like she's not being truthful. But you know, that's just a thing.
Well, counting that I was following channels that were talking about this shit last year, I think I can say that I can attest to this.
Before she said, so she hasn't said anything. So what did she? So you're telling me people found her. They're like, oh my gosh, it's Gina Carano. no pronoun in bio. We must cancel. And they were like, Gina Carano, you are devil spawn. You must put pronouns in your bio, or else
That's
we will cancel you.
how it started. She was on
Really?
the Mandalorian.
She didn't say a single thing. Nothing.
And people kept bothering her about it. And
Oh,
she
but wait.
literally was just
So
like,
it's-
I'm gonna put bleep blop bloop in my fucking
Oh,
pronoun
so
fucking
there-
section, and all
sounds-
these people screamed about it.
Sounds about right. So they bothered her about it. So like, hey, you should put pronouns in your bio, bro. It would be really cool if you put pronouns in your bio. Hey, this is why trans people think that you should put pronouns in your bio.
Yeah, so she was like, fuck you
And
for
then
telling me what to do.
Oh,
I'm just
so,
gonna
okay.
do a fucking Star Wars joke and just
So-
do fucking bleep blop.
Okay, so now the truth comes out. So it seems like she instigated.
By being ganged up on by crazy leftists telling her to, you have to put your pronouns in, you have to put your pronouns in. Okay, dude, okay.
Well, I mean, if she disagrees, I think most people were pretty agnostic about it. If not, didn't care at all. And when she it seems like people really started caring when she responded with bleep blop bloop, which is obviously a mockery of pronouns. Like, do you disagree that that's a mockery of pronouns? It seems pretty clear cut to me. People are like, put she her, and you go bleep blop bloop, huh? Got him. Triggered.
Well,
like, I mean, okay. Like, people are like, whoa, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It was a joke because people were fucking with her, and she was like, I'm gonna make a Star Wars joke. It's like an R2D2 kind of fucking sound, and that's where she was coming from. She was like, these people are trying to tell me what the fuck to do.
It was a really cringe joke.
I'm gonna tell them no, and I'm just gonna do what the hell I want.
Well, it was a really cringe joke. It didn't go over well, seemed to be transphobic, and made the company look bad. So, seems like everything she did there was wrong. Pretty unfortunate. Sounds like grounds to be fired, honestly.
All right, so
to
go back to the beginning of this tangent, like this conversation, you asked me what I think canceling is. What do you think canceling is?
Oh, I don't use the word cancel. So I mean, there's like almost nothing. It seems like the canceling for a lot of right wingers is when people do things that they don't like.
Yeah, but I know you have an opinion of it.
Yeah, it's usually I would describe as when conservatives think people are doing things with themselves or other people that they don't like. Usually like with the Mr. Potato Head thing, saying Mr. Potato Head was fucking canceled. Like, really? They just changed it to Potato Head and then put out all like the like usually men and women like accessories in the box.
The only reason that was a big deal to some people is because
they're losers.
There's been a litany of things that have been canceled, rebranded, or thrown away in the last 5 years.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, a company decides to rebrand and they think that they're being canceled or something. It's so fucking weird. You have to be like such a loser to even like put a substantial amount of brand power towards it. But that's only
because things have been canceled.
Like what? What's been canceled?
There's been articles about how Monopoly is fucking racist, and there's been conversations about, like, I don't know, Dr. Seuss just got fucking canceled.
Like the show's over, or like what?
God, and like that's
or were
the
people
issue,
just
dude.
mad at it?
So much shit has been canceled.
So what's your problem?
And
so your problem is
why people react the way they do when things get rebranded or thrown away.
I just think you getting mad at like a company rebranding itself is just so fucking weird. You're like, and then chalking it up to some like massive cultural like movement or something. Dog, people just don't want to be associated with like have Aunt Jemima be associated with like house slaves. I mean, seems like perfectly fine for a company to do. It's nothing. It has nothing to do with canceling. I honestly just think that like canceling is just when like people do things conservatives don't like.
You do know that the woman that was used for the Aunt Jemima like picture, her family tried to get them not to cancel the look of Aunt Jemima.
It's not canceling. This is just rebranding. No, I don't believe there's some sort of like Aunt Jemima super PAC out there.
When a bunch of white fucking leftists are like, this is racist, that's canceling.
Okay. So do you think conservatives cancel?
Especially when it's not racist.
Can I ask you, do you think conservatives cancel?
I think anyone with a small IQ that thinks just canceling people for no reason just because you disagree with them is I think it happens on all the spectrum.
Okay, so you think conservatives cancel too, right?
Yes,
What do you
like
think
it
conservative?
does happen,
What
but
do
it
conservatives
also doesn't
cancel?
happen in the same way because the left also controls
Oh,
media,
yeah.
entertainment, society, all big tech.
Not necessarily. They're pretty economically a little bit right wing. A lot of those
So it
companies.
doesn't happen at the same scale.
Okay. I mean, I don't know anything like a major canceling that of anything in anyone that wasn't explicitly like racist or sexist or someone who wasn't like a literal rapist. But yeah, I mean, I think conservatives canceled Krieger or whatever that coffee brand was that didn't want to be with Tucker Carlson, didn't want to post their ads on Tucker Carlson's show anymore.
You
Seemed
call
perfectly fine.
Kroger in Florida?
No, like Kieger machines, the like super expensive coffee machines. Dixie Chicks, true. Dixie Chicks too. Um, they
Oh,
canceled
you
that.
told the Keurigs?
Yeah, Keurigs. They canceled Nike as well. They canceled Netflix. They canceled Disney. Yeah, Disney Plus.
So
They canceled Disney Plus.
canceling in that sense isn't what the left does in their term of cancel.
How you are ideologically opposed to something a corporation did, so you vote with your dollar by not being a part of them or advocating for them to change or stop. It seems exactly like what canceling is, like from
Yes,
how you
and that's
explained it.
not what canceling is. So being a libertarian and following libertarians, like supporting things with your dollar isn't canceling if you choose not to support them with your dollar anymore. Getting them off of platforms and canceling their free speech and getting rid of their ability to like, make money, that's canceling from the left.
Um. So you mean like talking out against someone you think is doing harm? That's canceling.
And that's where the left misinterprets what cancellation means.
Okay. So getting there for one, no one's free speech is getting taken away because no one's being harmed by the government here. Um, you still have free speech even if you don't have a Twitter account. It's crazy. I mean, Nick Fuentes seems to be getting along pretty well. But no, I just I think that you are absolutely completely within your rights to speak out against a company, write them letters about how you don't like what they're doing, like this or that. If you're ideologically opposed to it, that's well within your rights. I don't think that's canceling. I just think that's being a consumer or a concerned customer or being a concerned troll. It just seems like now conservatives realize that they're
Voting
losing
with your dollar and supporting with your dollar is not. All right, continue.
It just seems like conservatives are just really mad that they now notice that they're losing the culture war. So they put a lot of the blame on canceling. They can easily have a nice cute little rallying cry to
Dude, this is the funniest thing, man. The right doesn't know how to influence culture at all.
what? Don't know how to influence culture at all. What are you talking about? Like 40% of Americans are
The
completely
right
within.
is bad at influencing culture. I was
Yes.
agreeing with you. The right has been losing the culture war for years.
Yeah, it's mostly because facts have a left wing bias. But
They're just bad at it.
sure. Yeah, I think sure.
That's
Oh, no.
debatable. That's just propaganda.
What? What's propaganda? Yeah,
That
QAnon begs to differ.
anything has a left or right wing bias.
Reality has a left wing bias.
Explain. I'm curious.
The facts of reality seem to support left wing conclusions and bolster left wing ideas about possible solutions. But like it bolsters left wing prescriptions about the world. Like the world's descriptive facts bolster the left's prescriptive solutions, and it doesn't seem to do so for the right.
Could you give me an example so I can understand where you're coming from?
I mean, higher taxes on rich people seems to do a pretty good job at influencing making a decent economy, as well as just a little slightly higher taxes in general. The welfare seems to be a very good way to bolster an economy as well. Social things as well. Things like diversity. Things like not necessarily free market economics. It's also pretty good. Just the way that things come about the world, it just precludes you from having. I think if you have like a nuance to read, especially like one thing I can think of off the top of my head is systemic racism. That in particular is just that reality. It has a left wing bias, absolutely. Minorities being human, that's true, but I wasn't gonna say that. It's not fair.
All right, so I have a more interesting question. What do you think is the most controversial opinion that you hold?
I don't like beans. That, like, honestly, I think that's probably up there. No, please.
No, I mean like politically, but that is pretty controversial.
Yeah, I don't like beans. Beans fucking suck. People keep trying to bean pill me. Beans are garbo. It's just not good. I've tried almost every single bean, and I've just been unimpressed by every single one of them. Most controversial view I have, I don't know, maybe like giving prisoners the right to vote. I don't know. When it comes to conservatives, like
you hold
systemic
that's
racism
left
is real.
leaning that other left leaning people disagree with?
The other left, well, I disagree with a lot of Bernie or Bust types. I disagree with a lot of Kyle Kalinske and Jimmy Dore types.
So then, like, what's like a controversial opinion you hold on the left that the left sometimes will disagree with?
I'm thinking off the top of my head. You're thinking, asking me to think of a lot off the top of my head. I usually don't have to. I'm actually trying to stay away from like left wing people. A lot.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean you're fine. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking. I mean like the Bernie or Bust thing that was pretty big. It's usually a lot of like smaller things that kind of culminate into like a bigger problem in general. Like lots of people caring about just like straight populism. I see a lot of lefties falling into like the Nas Bowl trap. It's pretty fucking cringe. But that's like a whole bunch of issues wrapped up into kind of one. But yeah, I disagree with the left a lot. I am. A lot of times, some
and what
people
do
even
you
call me
identify
like
as again? You said you identify as a socialist, libertarian,
libertarian,
market capitalist,
libertarian, democratic
like,
market socialist. You can just say libertarian socialist. That's easy.
So what does that mean to you? Like, explain that to me.
It means workers should own the means of production, and that should be done democratically, and to give as people as much latitude and freedom in their lives as possible to do as they please, as long as they're not hurting other people.
All right, so basically, me and you agree on the front that like people should just be left to do what they want as long as they don't infringe on each other. But the only difference is when it comes to social and economic policies, we might disagree.
Sure, but that's kind of like saying we agree on everything except for everything, kind of. But I mean, I guess we like agree on the core fundamentals that I think people are better kind of left alone, I guess, as long as they're not hurting other people. But I guess we would always disagree on what you mean by hurting other people, meaning that we would fundamentally disagree on our prescriptions. So we kind of agree, but like disagree on everything as well. Yeah, and corporations censor you. That's not the left. That's
yeah,
just
but
like,
also common ground's always a good start.
Sure. I mean, sure. I don't really think it's like super important, but you know what? Some people feel good about it. No. That's just me though.
Well, without common ground, there is no discourse.
Oh, common ground? I don't know. I feel like I don't have any common ground with like reality with a lot of right wingers, but I don't know. We still talk. Just the life that they live and the things that they support. It just seems very, very
that's
contrary.
all that matters, man, and that's why like I enjoy your channel more than most other people's.
Oh, I appreciate it. But no, yeah. I mean,
Like I was actually banned off of someone's stream for supporting. My bad. Continue.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like for instance, like when it comes like you and Riverboat Jack are probably like my favorite left-leaning people that I enjoy listening to.
I appreciate it.
Everyone else usually yells too quick at their audience or they are just emotional.
I don't know, kind of built different. There's some things I'm emotional about. No, healthcare is one thing I'm emotional about. I mean, but that's a very personal effect on me. So I mean, everybody has their thing. Can I like? No,
So
please.
you might be controversial because you don't like beans. Here's something that like we can
Hit me.
talk about. Like my girlfriend actually used to be, before I started dating her, was like a hardcore leftist.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's cool. I guess. I mean, you know,
Like,
do your thing. What happened? Is she
yeah.
no
So
longer a
like,
hardcore leftist?
could you do that with
No,
someone that like is the opposite of you?
no. Just me personally, no. Um, there are a lot of things that you have to believe and buy into for me to be suitable for like to spend a lot of my time around like that, especially in an emotional setting. I don't think I would be my bad. I don't think I'd be dating any sort of like conservative or like hardcore Trump supporter. Those people are just fucking weird. They're just weird ass people. Especially their weird ass parasocial relationship they have with Donald Trump. Like, oh my gosh, like they're actually
Facts.
see a therapist.
Any like
Yeah. What? Hey, what issues did
I
your
didn't know
girlfriend
if
move
one of
over
us were
on?
gonna talk yet, but anyway, I was gonna say like I agree. Like because I'm wait what wait what's up?
What positions did your girlfriend move over on? You said she was a hardcore leftist. Is she still, or did you guys just stop? Did she change, or did you guys just stop dating?
So so she so when it comes to her, like it isn't that she exactly changed her policy preferences. It's more of that she was more eye open to, like, I don't know how to explain it in the most simplest way. Maybe like when it comes to like seeing reality from the other side, there were some cultural things and like real life stuff that she was misinformed about. And like being around me, she's seen like what she's been peddled on Facebook and stuff wasn't exactly necessarily true.
She gets her news from
But she
Facebook.
still thinks socialism better than capitalism. I do push back on that,
Whoa!
but
Thank you so
only
much,
in a
Son.
nice way.
Thanks so much, Son, for the
And then
raid.
she wants Medicare for all and shit like that.
You cannot stop us. We are powerful together. Your stream is ours, and you cannot win against us. We won. You're literally losing. You don't have any power over your chat. You feel the wrath of our community? Why are you doing this to me? Why? What have you done? Reject modernity. It's time to it's time to embrace tradition. Oh, is that where you were, Vicus, this entire night? Oh my gosh, Vicus didn't even come visit us this entire night. He was just sitting in Son's chat. Holy shit, I got broken up with by Vicus. So sad. Yeah, we're talking to a chatter right now. Thank you everybody from the Coon Pack for visiting us. We all know we love our coons around here. Boy, do we love the Coon Pack. Can we get a nice happy hello to the Coon Pack? Would you say hello to the Coon Pack, bud? That's you.
Hello, Coon Pack.
There you go. I am already canceled by the infrared folks.
Yeah, I was confused for a second. My bad.
No, you're fine. Yeah, like infrared hates you now, doesn't he? It's another like it's
So,
someone that you would describe probably as a further left than even us as a
so do
tanky.
you guys know about infrared? Because like I never.
So the Sond has personally spoken to infrared.
I don't really know anything about him, but I heard that he was like banned like midstream or some shit.
Yeah, he was saying slurs.
Oh, what an asshole.
Yeah, bad guy. What you said? It's the Raccoon Den. Ah, it's the Coon Club. Cool. Sans Cool Coon Club. Yeah, I think I like that. The Cool Coon Club. I like that. It's got a nice ring to it. Here, let me here. Was there anything else you want to go over, bud?
I don't know. I was actually just about to ask you, like, is there anything like you want to like bring up to like have like a conversation about, like when it comes to like politics or cultural stuff?
We can talk about like. Wait, do you believe in systemic racism?
Yes, I do believe that there are leftover things from the 1960s that need to be attacked. Um, I might disagree on like certain things that like people might blow out of proportion, but yes, I do believe that there is racism still left in this country. I'm not dumb.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could if you always have a take that you disagree with, you're free to hop in chat and we can hash it out, buddy. All right? Hello?
So, when it comes to systemic racism, like, is there any other like, like high tier question that you want to ask me, since like obviously
Um
I'm not on the same political side of the aisle as you?
um you seem like you don't like Trump, right? Oh, what the heck?
No, I don't. So this is a really big misconception about Trump supporters is, besides the insane ones,
Mm,
we don't like everything about the guy.
sure.
I did vote for him and I
Okay.
did like him. I do like things about him, but I don't like everything about him.
Okay. Well, I mean, for me, like that's cool, I guess. It doesn't really matter cuz you still perpetuate the things that he does anyways. So,
What do you mean?
well, I mean, I can be like, well, boy do I hate child sex rings, but you know that I just can't stop buying from that place that that sells the child sex ring farmed shoes. You know, they're just so tasty. So I just won't stop, even though, yeah, hey, listen, I don't always agree with their business practices, but you know, yeah, yeah, it's just you know, yeah, you know how it is. I'll see you later, buddy. You know, I mean, cool. It's cool that you say I don't like this or that. It doesn't really matter when you support him and let him do the things that he wants to do anyways by voting for him, especially. Also, Son, give me 1 second and we can talk.
Well, to be fair, a lot of like I used to be a Bernie supporter,
Yeah.
but then when I found out the kind of shit that people were lying about Trump about in 2016, that actually made me see the bias because I ended up doing my own research, and then actually like sparked me getting into politics more than I already was. And I found out that there was a bunch of shit that was being lied about, and I mean, I hate using this term. I've never actually used it out loud until right now, but like I guess like that's what like red pilled me, because I used to be a socialist.
Oh my gosh. All right. So here, let me would you mind if I bring Sansola and
So
then I'll
like
just
I don't
kind
know,
of
there's a good amount that has
hey,
been
thanks for the host.
perpetuated about him. That's not true.
Yo, would you mind if I bring
But
Sansola in? He's a
yeah,
friend of mine. He's on
Sansol, I
Discord.
actually followed him the other day. So yeah, yeah.
Sure. All right. All right, Sandy. Okay. Budget Dylan Burns.
How's it going, friend? I
What's
love
up,
the,
buddy?
I love the negging that you do right at the beginning. It really makes me, you're negging me down so that I'm willing to succumb to you, but it won't happen. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
I'll get
gorilla,
you.
I'm Gorilla Gang. I'm too fucking powerful. All
I'll
right.
get you. I'm strong.
Uh,
I'm an annoying person.
uh, hey, so I had a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one, the it, you repeated a falsehood. Infrared wasn't saying slurs. I don't want to. He did get banned midstream while talking to us, but there was a lot more that happened there. So
How many
just
times did he say the N-word?
he didn't say any gamer words. He was just really angry and he threatened everyone that was in the call. Basically, this is how it went down.
Oh.
Yeah, so he basically me and him were talking, and then he started like going off on some bullshit about like how China isn't imperialist. I brought up an example of how he is imperialist, and then um or not he is imperialist, how China is imperialist. And then uh he wouldn't budge on it. Dylan Burns said like drag me in, coach. And so I dragged
Pull
him
me
in,
in.
and then he got really upset because he got schooled by Dylan Burns. And then, you know,
I was
after he
thinking
got
about asking to come in, but I didn't want to bother you guys.
no, it would have been fine, but you might have been harassed like some of the other people
Oh
were
my
because of it.
gosh.
Because one of my mods jumped into the call and also like spammed the call chat with illicit photos, and it got him banned.
Oh my gosh.
After I told him not to do that, so then we had to ban someone from my community, and then they created a revenge channel on their Discord for me specifically, which has not panned out too well for them because the, the attack, the cancellation, the manifesto that they wrote was lackluster and literally devoid of any sense whatsoever. So
This story has gone way further than I expected. I thought it was just like Infrared said some slurs, then got banned while you guys were arguing. Man, that's something else. Hey,
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
it was
that's content right
something.
there.
Hey, we had, I think, there were probably like 7 or 8 people in the call uh with me and him. Like me, Riverboat Jack, Mr. Geek, Bones of Doom was there, fucking
I should have joined in. I didn't know it was a whole freaking house party going on in your Discord. What the heck?
oh, it wasn't my Discord. It was just like a private call, so like we would
Okay.
have just like had to drag you in, but it was spicy as fuck. I'll tell you that much. He just kind of infrared is rising and you will not stop us. Infrared is rising and you will not stop us. Infrared is rising and you will not stop
Oh,
us.
that's where that came from? That the
Yeah,
copy pasta?
and he did that from the time that we started that part of the conversation, which was probably like 2:30 in the morning until 9 a.m. when Doobie finally left.
Oh my gosh.
He literally just repeated himself over and over and over like a mantra. Fucking crazy shit. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm thinking with some people that we argue with here on Twitch. That I've really been thinking about having just a soundboard, you know? Like every time I make an argument, I just record it on the soundboard. And then when they start repeating themselves, I just play it. And then they can argue with the soundboard. I was really thinking about doing that. I think I'll do that sometime because that sounds hilarious.
No, that actually might work because, I feel like a broken record talking about like let's say like systemic racism. It's always the exact same conversation, so I could just like record it and then
Please, please, if I'm gonna do it too. I'll get into a systemic racism debate, and I'll just pre-record everything, and I'll fucking like mind read. Can you imagine how mindfuck he would be? Like every single argument he comes up with, I already have something pre-recorded to say about it, like at my fingertips. Like, oh my gosh,
that would be maybe that's something I'll look into, and I'll sell it to all the other streamers, and
there
I'll make
you
$1
go.
million.
Like the
Also,
socialist.
yeah, Varga is right. He also stayed up for 50 hours after that conversation, threat like to make the response video, and it was the like most limp-wristed fucking overcooked spaghetti fucking attempt at a clapback that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, his video, like the infrared
Yeah,
video. Yeah,
yeah.
I saw like a little bit of it. He was like, Bones of Doom, Dylan Burns, Son Soul, you are being called out. You were destroyed. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I see.
It was like so epic for like what actually happened, and it just hurts his own fucking argument, but whatever. Also, evidently, his ban went from 7 days to 14 days and is under review. So I don't know why that
Oh,
is.
dude,
Someone
rip.
informing me about it now.
Can I you're a little crackly. Could I ask you to because this worked for me. Can I, like go into Task Manager and just completely shut down Discord and then re-up it again? See if it may work.
Yes, 1 second.
Bud, you've been quiet. Are you okay? Do you want a hug? I can give you a hug.
So this dude was banned because he did some slurs, but he's only banned for like 13, 14 days. Like, what would it take to just be completely just removed from Twitch as a creator?
Well, the Twitch mods aren't very good at implementing their ban system consistently. So I don't know, sometimes maybe you'll say the N-word really mean, and that's a permanent ban. I don't know. Maybe you'll sow nudity, and that's a permanent ban. But sometimes for some people it isn't. So I don't know. I actually cannot tell you because they are horrible, awful, dog shit
That's kind
at
of
implementing their policy.
interesting.
Yeah, they're just really. I don't think they really have a set way to implement policy like at all. I'm actually pretty sure that they don't even have like an automatic system to relieve people of bans either. Even still to this very day, it's just really bad. It's actually not too good here. Actually, is one of the big reasons why I wanted to. I was thinking about, if people actually got like a Twitch union off the ground, I'd definitely join it. Yeah, and he's suspended, not banned. Yeah, he made threats on people's lives.
Didn't you say that you're gonna start making more long-term like long form YouTube videos?
No, I like polled my community and I said, what do you like, long form or short form videos more? And most people said short form, but long form still had a lot of people who wanted to see that stuff. I'm not gonna leave long form content. This the short form content is it's easy content. It is much easier content actually to be able to get done. I think like because we've been posting a lot of videos.
Do you do a lot
recently.
of edited YouTube videos or
Every single
live
one of my
streams
videos
on YouTube?
is edited. Yeah. Long form needs to be artistic. It's either artistic or like
Are you on there a lot, or are you mostly on Twitch?
It depends. It's hard to do both evenly. So I have I've been doing a kind of like I pay attention to both like all the time. Actually I need to hop off, but I do have an old idea for. Oh, cool. Sond will not return. Sadly, Sond has to go. But so everyone say goodnight to Sond. Say goodnight to Sond.
Deuces.
There you go. Okay. Just had to say goodnight to the boyo. Yeah, goodnight, Sond. Good night, Sond. You brought up how you got red pilled because you heard lies. Oh.
No. Go ahead. For some reason my audio is delayed, so every time I talk, it takes like a second for it to come through on your.
Yeah. So I heard that you said that you heard lies that changed you from being socialist or whatever. So what happened? What lies did you hear?
So it isn't. So back in 2015, I wasn't really even politically engaged. So like I thought socialism was a good idea, and when Bernie Sanders was on the campaign trail, I was like, oh, like this makes sense. Like I like what he's preaching. I like what he's saying. And like I wasn't really politically engaged. And my buddies was like, "Do you know he's a socialist?" And I'm like, "Is that supposed to be a bad thing?" And I'm like, "I like what he has to say." So it went from that to me hating Trump because of all the Facebook videos of him like like all these things out of context, like one of the first things because I still get the memories sometimes of me just hating on Trump, just being like, how dare anyone want to vote for someone that has done these horrible things or said this horrible thing. And I don't know, it went from me wanting to understand the context to finding out that in context it wasn't what I was being peddled, and it kind of opened my eyes going like, holy shit, for the last 4 or 5 months I've been believing something that has been completely fabricated. and it kind of made me root for the guy that everyone hated. But then from there, I went from being for socialism to being a liberal to kind of being like a limbo, and then by researching and coming to my own opinions as becoming an adult since then and just living my life, I've fell as a libertarian that believes in less government overreach, but I believe in some social policies to help the fabric of society.
What lies did you hear to make you change your opinions?
So the first thing that I ever found out that I was being lied to about was that Trump mocked a disabled man.
Okay.
That was the very first thing that I was like, fuck this guy. That is ugly and that is terrible. But then I found out that he's actually been doing that exact hand and body motion to mock people that ask questions for like 10 years. And I'm like, okay, he's an asshole, but he's not mocking a disabled guy.
So he's not mocking a disabled guy by like
So that was the first.
wiggling around and pretending to be a disabled guy.
So if there's actually a video that you could probably still find on YouTube. It's actually a video of Trump going back like 8 years, kind of doing the same gesture.
Wait, buddy, wait. Let me stop you there.
And like,
that doesn't
okay,
matter.
like that might be in poor taste, but what's up?
That doesn't matter. Just because he's been doing it for a while doesn't mean it's not ableist. Like, you can be doing ableist things for a while. I mean, if any time like something bad happens to you, you say the N-word, and then like someone was mean to you, and then you say the N-word, and they're black, that doesn't mean you weren't racist those other times, and you still weren't being racist. Like the hand motion in of itself. Have you ever seen people do like the whole, they go like "der" and then they like throw their like they have like a limp wrist and they throw it up to their chest and they like hit their chest and stuff when you're trying to make fun of someone being stupid?
I grew up on Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, that's ableist. And just because you've done it to non-disabled people in the past doesn't mean that this now is not ableism. It's just now it's just being used against someone who's actually disabled.
All right, so to move on from that, since you gave your opinion, I
want you to engage with it.
That
please.
I found out that they were lying about was everyone was like, "What do you mean? Like, I don't know what else you want me to say besides like, okay,
that's
you've
not
done
a
it
lie."
Before, but like, I don't. But like, when you're purposely saying Trump is doing this against a mentally able man, and he's only doing that to make fun of him as an individual, that was a lie.
Well, he always was. Because he's always making fun of disabled people. It just happened to be directed towards him specifically this time. Like, what are you saying? Do you honestly think that someone who every time they do something
actually,
bad happens?
There was an interview where Trump explained that, and he was actually just making fun of people having like a stutter, and it's just a whole body thing that he would do. He's a visual dude, and it would just be like and then just do that. But like the first lie was that he was doing it purposely just to mock that specific reporter.
So instead of doing that to mock that specific reporter's disability, he was mocking another specific disability and then just using it in general when he doesn't like people, basically calling them dumb. And you're telling me this is not ableist?
Until MSNBC and CNN started saying that it was against disabled people.
It is.
Literally,
like
no one considered it being like anti-disabled people.
Just because people didn't say that it was ableist doesn't mean it wasn't. Lots of people thought slavery was cool, but it's not. Just because no one speaks out about it, do you think that do you think that like sexual assault is okay if the person doesn't say anything about it?
Oh no. Never mind.
Like, I just don't understand this argument that you're like, well, yeah, you can go around like assaulting people, and then you're like, well, they didn't say anything about it until now. Like,
What? Sexual assault is always bad. What?
yeah, ableism is always bad, bud. You're just telling me that ableism is okay as long as you're just not using it specifically.
Well, I don't know about you, man, but I grew up in a very
Ableist place?
un-PC time, and I grew up on things that aren't PC. So seeing things like that don't offend me or people that I know.
Wait. Let's not use the word offend. Let's use the word insult. Because that's a more apt word for what's going on here. People are being insulted because people are insulting them.
Okay. Did like didn't you grow up with things that are like insulting or offensive or rude or mean? Like that doesn't mean you have to be outraged over everything.
So are you saying that they should just be okay with ableism?
But it's only ableism because a bunch of people wanted to make it about ableism, not because he was actually making fun of mentally challenged people.
Well, he was making fun of disabled people, people with stutters, and then he expressed that by making fun of someone with a disability by pretending like he has other disabilities. So it was always ableist. You can't just be like, well, now you're getting mad at when I'm being a bad person. So how
He
could
was
you?
making fun of people choking up when it comes to like asking questions or trying to argue.
Like a stutter? And even that, like, still, like, what the fuck? Why? and then he like shakes around with his arms and stuff. Like, what the fuck? I mean, it's pretty
But not like
obviously.
an actual stutter. Like, have you ever like choked up and like tripped over yourself trying to talk? Like it happens.
Like, all the time. And he explained.
Have you
You
never done like
said.
offensive comedy before?
I mean, I have. Like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, people have been racist and they don't think that you should be racist. Yeah. Do you think that? Wait. Do you think that like
Okay,
insulting?
so you're telling me you've never done anything as impolite as that thing that he did?
I
Because I
probably
can tell you one thing.
I probably have.
What?
Like Bud. I have grown up as like a COD kid. You know, I was never a squeaker, but I grew up around that stuff. I'm not gonna say I was raised by the internet. I had great parents, but I've been on the internet for long enough. I understand these things, Bud. But I just if I did, I would say sorry. I would not try to defend that stuff because I know it's wrong. I think it's perfectly fine for people to be mad at Trump and just call it ableist when he obviously, as you said, explained it as him mocking someone's like disability or disabilities in general, or people who don't seem as like normal. I would also label that under ableism. Yeah.
All right, so I don't want to get too tied up on this because it's okay, it's still wrong, but like I'd rather spend the time talking about actual like things that were actual lies and not things that we can actually have like conjecture about.
Well, I don't know why you brought it up. Then you said it was one of the lies that you were told, but hit me up with a real lie.
It was the first lie.
Sure.
Okay, the first lie, the first verifiable lie that anyone can go check is literally it was like one of his first interviews and everyone claimed that he called Mexicans fucking animals. But literally, if you go and watch the 60 Minutes interview, he's literally talking about MS-13. And they peddled that shit for 3 fucking years. 3 years! And it was a 20-second clip taken out of context when he was talking about MS-13.
Oh, you're talking about they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime.
and he was talking about MS-13, not Mexicans, and MSNBC and CNN peddled that he was making fun of Mexicans. Literally, they used that word, not MS-13. He said he was being racist and xenophobic, and that's not what happened.
That speech. Here you
They
are.
took a 30-second clip, and if you added 30 seconds to the beginning or the end of that clip, you would have saw the truth.
All right, here, 1 second, bud. Let me listen to this.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're
This
bringing
isn't the
drugs,
60 Minutes interview.
They're bringing crime. They're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Now, you've tried to clarify this statement in recent days, Donald, but I guess the question comes down to
this is the clip that I refer to when I'm talking about Donald Trump. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
this. Do you regret saying that specifically about rapists, or do you stand by it?
No, not at all. Of course, it's not only Mexico. If you let that run a little bit longer, it talks about people coming from all over. They're coming from all over. They'll soon be coming, and probably already have be coming from all over the world. You're probably going to have people, you're probably going to have terrorists coming from the Middle East. Somebody said, oh, we don't have terrorists. They don't even know, because they don't know who's coming. So we have this open border. It's a sieve. It's like water pouring through. People are coming in by the hundreds of thousands. We have no idea who's coming in. And it's not just Mexicans, and I have a great relationship with Mexico and with Mexicans. I have an absolutely great relationship. But we're not just talking about Mexico. Now, Mexico is very smart. You know, Mexico makes it impossible. It's one of the hardest nations in the world to become a citizen of, okay? But people run through Mexico. They go through our border like nothing. They end up, we don't know who these people are. But all you have to do is you should do a show from the border. Talk to the border security. You will see the kind of people coming. You'll see the kind of crime that's being committed. And we're taking these people. And by the way, just to finish on that, it's common sense. They don't want these people, so they send them to the United States, because the United States is run by stupid people. We have stupid leadership. We have incompetent leadership that doesn't know what it's doing, so we take them. And certainly we do have killers and plenty of other problems coming over. We take them because other countries don't want them. We're like a dumping ground. The United States, Aaron, is like a dumping ground for the world's problems. So absolutely I wouldn't.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh, this is actually worse than I remembered.
And guess what? All of that is true 5 years later.
What's true?
America gets dumped with everyone's problems. We still have issues with, like, you know, sex trafficking. We still have issues with drug smuggling. We still have issues with these things. And if anyone thinks that it's not true just because Trump said it, you're being brainwashed.
When Mexico sends its people, they aren't sending their best. We're the dumping ground of the world's problems. What else do you say in there? They're sending people, right? Like they don't want them. So we're taking all these problematic people. They're coming in by the hundreds of thousands. We're coming.
We literally take on everyone else's issues. We take on everyone else's
factually
debts.
Incorrect by literally every metric. This is why I say that reality has a left-wing bias. It's just factually incorrect.
Then why are we bombing people in the Middle East still to this day, 3 years later?
We got ourselves, well, for one, we got ourselves into that. I don't know how we're a dumping ground of the world's problems if we're causing problems for other people across the planet. Yeah,
we should not be bombing people.
Buddy,
we should not be taking criminals in. We should not have illegal immigration, and we should not be giving fucking Pakistani gender studies $1.3 fucking trillion, billion dollars, whatever.
Okay. I think illegal immigrants are usually fine. usually just they want to work and feed their family. Most of them are pretty good people. So I mean, yeah, I would say that speech by him, especially corroborated where he doubled down on it, is extremely bad.
So is that fair to the people waiting in line?
That's fine. I mean, sorry. I want to expedite them coming in.
My family came over on a fucking boat.
Okay.
It's a disrespectful to all of people's ancestors and family members that came over on a fucking boat to Staten Island, and then you have these people that are being promised free healthcare from the Democratic Party. That's fucking a slap in the face, and if anyone supports that, you're an idiot. I'm sorry.
So you're okay with bad conditions as long as everyone gets bad conditions? Like if something bad
happened. I'm sorry. I said fucking Staten. I mean Ellis.
That's close enough. They're all islands. Yeah, I just this ridiculous argument. Just because bad things happen to people doesn't mean more bad things should happen to more people. Like, I mean, cool. Like your parents came here.
How's it ridiculous? Dude, there were Mexican Americans that don't agree with illegal immigration.
Dog, I do not care. Mexicans are fucking racist. Mexican people here, lots of them are really racist. Sorry. Black people are really racist.
Your argument is not moral. Your argument is not moral, and it has no fucking standing in morality or logic.
No. I mean, all right. Okay. I think what Trump said was really bad. I think when he says like hundreds of thousands of people are coming in, we take in fewer refugees than almost every single developed nation.
Like, I just don't know how like you call people that are anything right to Bernie Sanders is evil.
No, I think there are people who are right of Bernie Sanders who aren't evil. I think Elizabeth Warren is not evil. I think AOC is not evil. I think lots of, I mean.
But you hold like these opinions. Makes no fucking sense.
I think there are even like lots of conservatives as well. I don't think are necessarily evil. I don't know. We jumped around a couple of points there, buddy. I don't know. I think the level of immigration that we have right now is fine. We can even
I already know your answer to this, but okay, do you think ICE is necessary?
ICE is necessary? I mean, no. They don't seem to be necessary. Yeah, Lisa Murkowski.
And why?
We were working perfectly fine without them. They only seem to cause problems. Just to let you guys know, he is working on a delay, so that's why there's lots of pauses.
Okay, do you know how many criminals that they deport on like a yearly annual basis?
A couple. They probably they deport a lot of citizens too.
Thousands. And it's not just Mexicans. It's not just South Americans. It's Russians. It's Swedes. It's anyone that is causing any issues that is not a legal citizen. It's not just fucking this racist fake news bullshit.
Oh, I mean, okay. Like, I mean, we already have a system for this. We have Homeland, we have border security. There are other agencies ready and able to take care of people, and not the basically paramilitary of ICE. They're not good. They're bad. We don't need them. And we're working perfectly fine without them, and we don't need them. Just because they do things doesn't mean they should continue doing things.
All right, and then what's your magic opinion about police then?
But here, we can say on this topic for a second. I think Donald Trump is bad. I feel like you were lied to and that you were a victim, and then you change your political views off of lies. I think that you were actually on a pretty good path until you started believing in lies, to bring you where you are now.
Who lied to me for me to become a libertarian?
Facebook and all of those people that you say that you watched, apparently, who told you things like, oh, Donald Trump wasn't talking about Mexicans, even though he talked about bringing them over hundreds of thousands. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists. We got to stop them. Like, all of this.
No, dude. It's called I grew the fuck up in the ghetto, poor, and I came to my own fucking conclusions about my own fucking life and what I think is moral and what doesn't infringe on my rights or others. No one fucking told me how to think. Trump didn't fucking tell me how to think, that's for fucking sure. And that's the thing with fucking people like you. You think just because, like, I watch Fox News or, you know, he's right-wing, he must have been brainwashed. No, I had my own fucking experiences. I grew up poor. I've been homeless. I've been without fucking heat. I shouldn't even be alive today. But you know what? I'm a libertarian because I feel like everyone should do what is best for them and they shouldn't be infringed upon. And just don't be insane. Like, that's it. Just live your fucking life and be left alone. But no, it's Trump's fault and Fox News' fault that I'm the way I am. Makes a lot of sense.
Actually, I said Facebook, but I didn't know that you watch Fox News. But it's also Fox News' fault. They're also pretty racist. No, I mean, yeah. You, for one, nobody ever comes to political opinions in a vacuum. Everybody, you read opinions from other people, and then you're influenced by them. You did not come to your opinions by yourself. That's just not correct. That has not happened to you. All right. I know lots of people want to feel like individuals. They're not. I'm sorry. Lots of things that you do are influenced by other people. Everything that you've learned is influenced by other people. Whether that's
so does that mean you're a socialist because you were also brainwashed like how I was?
I never said brainwashed. I said lied to.
Okay, so you're a socialist because you were lied to?
No. We live in a society. We do. Society argument. Society.
You literally just walked yourself into a corner.
I did not.
You said I came to my conclusions because I've been lied to.
Yeah.
And because no one has their own opinion. So that means by your fucking logic and standards, you came to your own opinion because of someone else's opinion. That means you were lied to as well.
No. Not coming oh no. Not coming up with your own not being completely by yourself and coming up with your own opinions in the sensory deprivation chamber like lots of people pretend that they did. You were influenced by other people.
So how was I lied to, but you weren't?
You were influenced by other people. I was influenced by other people. The influence that you got were lies. The influence that I got were not. Well, actually, I did get a couple of lies. And I probably still believe some myself. Oh my gosh, stop that.
So I was lied to believe in individual freedom. I believe that no one should fuck with anyone else. I believe that the woman has a right to choose. I believe in lower taxes, and I believe people should pay their fair share if they're billionaires. I don't like corporations. I'm pro-gun. I am not racist. I'm for gay rights. But I didn't come to my own conclusions. Okay, gotcha.
You, for one, yes, we already hashed this out. You did not come to your own conclusions, no. Like nobody else, like nobody really does, like by yourself, you know. I mean, you came to your own conclusions, but you were influenced by other people, sure. But no, that's not what we were talking about. I was specifically talking about the things that made you change your political opinions. Those were lies. Like this is saying that we both filled up at a gas
Yes,
station.
Jennifer, convertibles. I believe that trans people exist, and I believe that they should have the rights to do whatever the fuck they want because they're human beings, and that's the point of libertarianism.
Yeah, but this is like saying we both went to a gas station and I filled up with premium and you filled up with piss. And you being like, wow, you say they were both filled up at a gas station, so you're saying we both have piss in our car. No, we don't. But that's all right. I'm just saying that we need it's just not good. You had lies. The things that made you change your political opinions were lies, and we see this now.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm not calling you an idiot for your opinions, but you're saying I'm filling out my opinions with fucking piss?
Buddy,
Nah, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
An idiot.
I'm not coming in here talking shit about your fucking opinions. Like, you can come to whatever fucking conclusion you want, and so can I. But I'm not fucking saying your fucking ideas and thoughts are fucking devalued.
I never called you an idiot. I don't know if and I don't know what you mean by devalue. I think that you are a person, and so your opinions have some value. I just think that what they're giving is bad.
You just said I'm filling up my car with piss.
Yeah, and the piss is an allegory for lies. Like some of the things that you believe, just like piss is bad for an engine, lies are bad for your brain. Yeah.
Okay, but again, that's where your fucking reality bias comes from, and you think that you're high and mighty and your opinion is the only right opinion. That is why there's no fucking conversations left in this fucking planet where people can actually come to an understanding. Because you're like, it's okay, I'm going to be my smug little asshole self and just be like, your opinions are piss, my opinions are gold, fuck you, you were lied to because I was told that you're being lied to. Okay, dude, alright, that's why there's no fucking discourse.
I don't think I have the only correct opinion. I think there are other people who are very much in the realm of correct. There's no one. I don't believe there's one concrete correct opinion. Overarching political view. I'm not sure if I really believe that. But I do think there are incorrect opinions.
And where is your rubric?
My rubric?
Okay, I'm gonna calm down. How do you decide?
How do I what's more? Well, I have to look at research. I have to look at what's observable. I have to look at things that I believe. I have to challenge things that I believe. And assess what people are bringing forth to the table to see whether or not the things that they are talking about or doing are valuable. In the sense that they hold legitimacy when put up against the real world. If they do not, I don't really consider that a good opinion. And if they do, and there's lots of things that are, there are lots of things that are up for debate. And I think if those things are up for debate, I can also easily kind of plop that in the realm of correctish sort of thing. But I don't know why you got mad. I thought we all agree here that
but it's hard to have a debate with someone that just writes off someone's opinions as just piss.
Have you found it hard to have a debate
so
with me?
So disrespectful. No, I just think that instead of just talking about ideas, you just devolve to just going, I don't know, I'm right, or your ideas are piss, or that I know for a fact that you've been lied to. I don't think it's bad to have conversation or discourse or debate or disagree with someone or to fight with someone. I just don't think you should just actively, be rude or disrespectful. Because it's just where do you get off on being like, you're lied to because I decided that you were?
Well, I think we seemed like we tried to hash things out, and I don't believe that you provided a reasonable a defense of the things that you said were lies. So it seems like instead of those things that you were being told lies in the sense that my bad. It seems like instead of the things that you were believing were lies, the things that you were believing were true, and then you were fed lies. Like isn't that how people come to incorrect opinions? Like by your worldview, they have to believe something that's incorrect, to be told things that are incorrect.
I'm not sure if you're conflating the whole Trump thing with how I became where I am politically. Like, I'm confused.
What I said was, you were fed lies by people trying to pretend like Donald Trump wasn't as bad as he is, and that is the piss that I was referring to. That you fill your car with, you filled your ideas with bad ideas, lies, actually, from people who have a political agenda by making Trump look better. I don't believe that from what you've told me so far, seem to hold up when put towards any sort of scrutiny. To hold up towards the real world as something that seems to be true, seems to be false. So they seem to be lies, which are bad. Lies are bad when they have you come to incorrect opinions, I believe.
So, like, what's one opinion, like, besides Trump? I mean, like, when it comes to politics, policies, opinions, and my way of looking at life, what's one thing that, like, you wholeheartely disagree with?
Well, we talked about this earlier. It was the
can be true.
It was the inflation thing. Seemed to be completely incorrect. Seemed to be pretty a little cringe. But you know, it'd be that way. I think but and also your opinions on Trump pretty bad. I believe. So yeah, I mean, those things in particular. And they both seem to be spurred on by things that you believe that seem to not be true.
But technically aren't. Okay, continue.
No, go ahead. No, that's it. I have too much goodwill.
So I already said, like, without Trump, besides Trump, and like to the one person in the chat, finding out when Trump was first elected, that's what started my political journey. But Trump has nothing to do with where I am now as libertarian. But like, I guess, like, besides the whole inflation thing, because we're both functioning on assumptions, on we haven't seen data on what's going to happen, but there's a 50-50 chance, like, it might be fine, it might not be. There's a bunch of shit that has to happen from now till then. But then the whole Trump thing, that's a whole different thing. But like, I mean, when it comes to me being a libertarian, you said I am the way I am because of other opinions that I've been lied to about. The things I listed about me having my own mismatched opinions of things. What opinion do I have when it comes to politics?
Rational Lefty and H
like,
Dog, thank you so much for following and joining the frenzy, like, and being so incredibly pog. Sorry I wasn't able to shout you guys out earlier.
Impossible of being true.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. What we were going through, this originally started by going through your assumptions about Donald Trump, things that you said you were lied to that made you change your opinion on Donald Trump. And while going through that's how we got here. We were on your, like, second point, right? Out of 3 or 4, how you said that these are things that you were lied to about, and so we were going over. That's how we got here, to say that, for me to say that the things that you were believing, things that you were being told, were lies. So that's how. I mean, we could wrap this up into something else, I guess, but in all actuality, all of my things that I was saying were completely related to just you telling me about those things about Trump. But it's getting late, bud. I have work in the morning.
Yeah, it's a good man. I mean, I enjoyed the conversation. Obviously, we disagreed on a good amount, or at least miscommunication on a good bit. But like, yeah, it's all good, man. Get some sleep. I know you have work tomorrow. Enjoyed the conversation. And,
yeah, see you later, bud. Take care.
Yeah.
All right. I have left the call. Okay. Ugh. Jeez. You're surprised at my patience? I'm a pretty patient person. I appreciate it. Blowing my mind. Shark's capacity to be patient with people. I'm a pretty patient person. I just wanted him to understand. You're fucking reality biased, dude. Okay, dude. Yeah, dude. Getting so mad for what? This is projection because Nemensko here is probably one of the most smug people in the call. Yes, I've heard on a stream in ages. Ford's Gore. Whoa, at home. Neither him are mixing up labor and natural resources enough as to generate full private property rights and maintain the full natural resources that should be in an egalitarian manner. I do believe in that. Yeah, that's true. Pretty wild. The right libertarian doesn't like open borders. Yeah, I thought it was the whole free movement of labor thing. This guy has no clue. In 53 most free countries in the world. Yeah, 53rd, right? That brought much joy to you today. I'm glad I can do it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you can enjoy yourself in the stream. Honestly, I really appreciate that. The debate bro would have came out of me. See, I maybe this is why people don't want to debate me. I'm too nice. Too nice while talking. Guide a raid. Here we go. Most libertarians are lying to themselves to look special and unique from Republicans. I don't know. I think if you have vocal disagreements, but when a rubber meets the road, you do not actually live up to that, then I don't value your criticisms at all. Like you can say this or that, that, and the third about a certain politician, but at the end of the day, you end up voting for them anyways. I mean, like, cool, but because this is politics. I don't care about what your words mean. It's action. Politics is all about acquiring and wielding power. If you give the people that you criticize power, then I don't know what the point of your criticism is. If you don't meaningfully push back against the worst parts of their policy platform that you disagree with, at that point, functionally in the world, you are not a different human being than someone who like just chugs the cum chalice, just chugs the Trump cum chalice. Oh my gosh, you're drinking that shit like fucking raw eggs in a blender. You're just gobbling that shit up. If that's the case, you're really not. You really don't feel different to me. I'm not going to lie. I'm sorry. Go to sleep. Yeah. Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro not libertarians. Ben Shapiro is a neocon. Steven Crowder is like just a bad person. He's just a bad person. Yeah. So yeah, there